Welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix, episode 171. My name's Chris, I'm your host, and let's go. Joining me in the studio today, we have my good buddy Kalder and I. What's going on, Kalder?
Not much, Chris. Howdy there, partner.
Owning it. We also have a returning guest on our show. We appreciate him coming back, Mr. Clix Flix himself. Jamie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm exceptional. Not enough beer in the system. I already said that, but the listener didn't hear that. Now they do. All right.
Nope.
There is basically no news to go over whatsoever, that's of any importance. So we're just going to play some games tonight. Don't know how long of an episode this is going to be, but we'll find out. We are going to start off with some Bad Samaritan. Calder, do you have a random number generator pulled up?
I actually will in about a couple of seconds.
That's fine. I'll continue. For those of you that have never played Bad Samaritan before, what I have done is chosen 3 figures, all modern age. There's a list of 20 clues. Calder has a random number generator. He's going to generate a number. He's going to give me that number. I'm going to give him the clue associated with it. Each round, everybody gets a guess. 3 rounds. If they guess it right, in those 3 rounds, they win. If they don't, I win. All right. How about now? You got that going?
No, you go ahead and keep talking.
Okay.
That Dakota internet's getting them.
Yeah.
It's that internet up in the wilderness. Actually, you know what?
Finally, we can talk about.
Let's talk about some wilderness action. Because I was off in my loneliness, not being able to speak to Calder for the last few days, because Calder was out in the middle of South Dakota, just hanging out with apparently mountain lions and stuff.
Black Hills. Yeah, that was fun. So me and a couple of guys went out to the woods. Maybe it was more of a cleansing thing. I don't know what it really was supposed to be. The word cleanse sounds really wrong, so we're not going to say that.
No, it's provocative, man. It gets the people going.
Very provocative. Yeah. So we basically went out in the woods and tried to survive off the land for this last couple of days. We started on Sunday-ish and then ended Friday and drove home. And that was pretty great. We set up traps, we hunted, fished, and if my voice doesn't sound great, it's because I have a little bit of a cold, because literally for lunch one day, I ate as many worms as I could that I found under rocks. So if I die any point during this podcast, just you'll know.
No, you can't die from worms, right? That was on fear factors.
It depends on the worms. But
yeah.
I guess that's true.
And we ate a lot of plants and shit that I don't know what they were, so.
Did you?
That's what got them.
Yeah. Oh, hey, hold on. Did you cook the worms, or did you eat them raw?
Do you cook worms? Is that a thing? I mean, some people did cook their worms, but somehow I just popped in my mouth. I don't think you cook worms. I don't think so. But that was only one day. That was only one lunch, so I don't think that'll kill me.
Is that because you couldn't find anything else to eat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Man's man right there. So if you need survival tactic advice, go ahead and email.
Go ahead, yeah. There you go.
All right, you have a random number generator?
We actually do now.
All right.
We're good to go.
Give me a number.
16.
16. Open damaging power. Opening damaging power is absolutely nothing. It's blank. I know. Setting you up real nice to start off with. I will give you a freebie. It's not Batman.
Oh, okay. That clears up. Not as much as it used to, but clears up enough.
No. But there are over 90 Batman figures at this point.
There are.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of those are modern, but quite a few.
Is it Deadpool?
It is not Deadpool. Jamie.
Let me think here. On this opening click. Oh man, is it a what is it? The Joker Thug from Joker's Wild.
It is not Joker Thug. That was not a bad guess. By the way, listener, if you are listening at home, we encourage you, after I give you what the clue is, go ahead and pause the podcast. See if you can get it. Guess. Then press play. See if you're right. All right. Next number.
Number 10.
Number 10 is name of special power. There are no special powers. Man, really setting you guys up for this one.
Really? Wow, this is horrible. No damage power. No opening damage power. No special powers.
Well, I'll tell you this because I kind of feel bad for you guys. There's no damage power. It's whole dial. I don't know how helpful that's
I actually think I have a half decent guess, but we'll wait on Kalder.
I'm gonna say Killer Moth.
It is not Killer Moth.
All right.
All right. Mine is it a Cobra Fanatic from Joker's Wild?
It is not Cobra Fanatic, but that is also not a bad shot.
I'm gonna keep guessing Joker's Wild until it's Joker's Wild. So this is.
It's the last round.
Is it a jackal?
It's a jackal. It's a jackal. Give me a number, Calder.
All right. Click. Number 2.
Number 2 is point value. That's actually kind of useful. 40 points.
40 points.
I'm not good at the Jeopardy theme song, by the way. Then you basically have just to guess a 40-point figure out of all of them right now. That is like so difficult.
That 40 points, no damage power at all,
And
no special power. Hmm.
Just throw out a guess. We've got multiple games to go.
Yeah, so I'll go with pretty sure. Oh, jeez. This is way harder than I thought it was going to be.
I think this might be the most difficult out of the 3 tonight, though. I'll give you that.
That's good to know. I'll say he might have a special power, and I don't know if it's true. No, I know he has a special power. I was gonna say Porcupine, but I know it's his razor thing that's either a special power or it's a trait, and I can't remember. Wow.
Based off of the comments on HC Realms, this is not a good figure. Quote, yeah, I absolutely think this is worse. It has lower attack and damage values and only 2 clicks of charge.
I know what it is.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure.
That was a bonus clue. What is it, Jamie?
Is it Warrior of Asgard?
There you go. Got it.
Hey.
Was it the charge that gave it away?
It was the charge, and then when you said about the comment, that was the final nail.
All right, no more extra cheaters. All right, figure number 2. Calder, hit me with a number.
Figure number 2. Number 16.
Number 16 is opening damage power again. Opening damage power is Perplex.
Perplex. Is it Lorelei?
It is not Lorelei.
All right.
But I will say that I pulled that in sealed and played it with Zeus, and that was awesome.
Its opening thing is perplex.
Yes.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm gonna do. What about the Savage? Well, it's just called Hulk in the Mighty Thor set, but like the Savage She-Hulk. I think she starts with perplex.
It is not that Hulk or She-Hulk or whatever it is. Next number.
5.
5 is a rarity. Rarity is going to be a common.
Common.
A common with perplex.
Is it Harley Quinn?
It is not Harley Quinn.
All right.
That was a good guess.
Common.
I'm thinking here. What do we got here? Is it Michelangelo from Heroes in a Half Shell?
It is not Michelangelo. No. Last number.
Last number. 1.
Team ability. Batman ally.
Common Batman ally perplex. It's got to be from Joker's Wild then.
There's one comment on this figure, so I don't know if this figure is good or not according to the HC Realm community. I can't possibly create my own opinions based off of what I see. You got a guess, Jamie?
Man. He's got to have more comments than that on him. But the Batman set, Batman, the 01.
If you say Batman, it'll cover all Batmans.
Yes.
Okay, it is not Batman. I think.
I feel like this might be from Elseworlds though, just to throw us off.
Well, he said he thinks, so.
He thinks. Okay,
Yeah,
so that would.
I really don't know. I feel like this could go either way because I don't know anything about this character.
Is it that the Joker creature Batman, the other?
Okay, no, it's not. But
like.
I feel like I want to give half credit to Jamie because technically it's not called Batman. It's the Bat. It's 007, the Bat from Elseworlds. It has the real name Bruce Wayne, but it's not called Batman.
Oh.
I don't know the history of this particular figure or the character that it's based off of. Do either of you?
I don't know anything. I'm a
Nope.
Marvel fanboy, so I don't know about DC.
Oh, well, I'll make sure and remember that the next time you're on and we play Bad Samaritan, I'll just pick all DC characters. So, I don't know, somebody that's listening, write in and let us know. I'll give you half credit. I'm taking the other half, so you're at 1.5.
Nice. I'll take it where I can get it.
All right, third figure, first number, Calder.
It is 9.
9 is range and number of bolts. It has 0 range in 1 bolt.
That could be like anything.
You're getting really unlucky tonight.
It's
Last episode, what was it, Calder, I'm pretty sure set a record.
Yeah,
He
that was
guessed
actually really good.
the character correct on first round, first clue.
yeah, I heard that.
That was dumb.
It's like he's a savant.
He cheated.
I did not cheat. I just know that much about Battlestar.
Gotcha.
Is it like,
It is, in fact, like,
Okay.
Pretty close.
Is it the Mighty Thor fast or starter set Hulk?
It is not.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
Calder, what do you got for me?
I am thinking, is it Grizzly from Deadpool and the X-Force?
It's not Grizzly.
Ah, dang. All right.
Next.
16. So you guess we'll know its damage power.
Okay, that is the third time you've hit that tonight.
Yep.
You know what? Reroll. I don't want to hear. I want to do this.
Gonna. All right. We got 9 again, so I'll hit reroll. 12. There we go.
12. Any special combat symbols? No special combat symbols.
All right. No range, no special combat symbols.
This is what you get, folks. When there's no news, you just get radio silence because we're just playing Bad Samaritan.
Is it the what's that thing called? The skeleton from the Undead set?
It is not. I would have taken either one of the skeletons because those are like the same, by the way.
Pretty much, yeah. Is it the Hulk generic from What If, the gold, the What If whatever spawned 1,000 Hulks?
It is not.
Okay, no, not that. All right. Last one is 20.
20 is a free play, so you can pick anything that you want. You may go through the list. I don't think... Jamie, have you heard this list?
I have not heard this list.
All right. Team ability, point value, set number, rarity, named keyword, generic keyword, improved movement or targeting, range of number of bolts, name of special power, name of trait, any special combat symbols, opening whatever power, there's 4 of those, and the last are free play. So basically any one thing you want to know about this figure. Now, in the past, it's been very common that people choose the set or a named keyword, and that generally narrows it down quite a bit for most people.
Yeah, I was gonna say named keyword, but I don't know how Kalder feels about it.
I was thinking named keyword or set, so named keyword would be good for me too, man.
Damn it, I think you guys are gonna get it because I don't... yeah, okay, here we go. Werewolf pack. It's only keyword. Or only named keyword.
So, I'm going to guess werewolf alpha.
You have a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
It's either you or Jamie that gets it. Is that your final answer? Werewolf alpha.
Werewolf alpha is my final answer. No, wait, he has range, doesn't he? He's got the sidestep range combat expert, doesn't he? Yeah. No.
Which one is it?
Normal.
Which one is it?
Normal. The normal werewolf.
The normal one?
The normal werewolf.
It's not the normal one. Jamie, which one is it?
What?
Werewolf alpha.
You win.
Yay!
Oh man.
Oh no, Kalder talked himself out of the right answer.
Totally talked himself out of it. That was horrible.
Where did you think he would get ranged combat expert?
I thought he had it.
He's a werewolf.
Doesn't he?
The normal werewolf had ranged combat expert. The werewolf alpha doesn't have. Jeez, I was confused in the dials.
Okay.
I was so confused.
Good job, Jamie.
Good job, Jamie.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's move on. You know I love you, girl. We're gonna do some casual comparisons. Casual comparisons where we pick 3 figures, same iteration of the character. I set a Twitter poll for 4 different X-Men this week. Got 18 votes on it. So thank you guys for your voting. And the winner was Colossus. So let's go over 3 different versions of Colossus, all of the same universe Colossus. At the end of it, we'll vote and figure out which one is Dial H's official Colossus. Jamie, you want to start us off?
Yeah. I picked the Deadpool and X-Force number 56 Colossus. He has 2 point values, 150 points, and I'm not sure what the other one is. But He's there's 80 points is the other one, and he has improved movement, ignores hindering terrain, has a trait called Russian Strength, and it says Colossus can use super strength. He has a 0 range with 1 bolt, which is not a surprise. X-Men team ability. Starts off with a 10 movement with a special, 11 attack with Quake, which is a lot better nowadays. 18 defense with Invincible and Indomitability, which is Invincible is a lot better now too. And 4 damage. He has the Armor, X-Force, and X-Men keywords. His special on his movement is Former Juggernaut, and it says Colossus can use charge and improve movement, ignores blocking terrain, and destroys blocking terrain as the character moves through it. So he ignores hindering terrain, breaks up blocking terrain, has Quake, which you can do a single target Quake now, and traded super strength, so you can charge and hit somebody with a heavy object for 6 damage.
He can hit pretty heavy. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he can hit. And the Invincible now, where you take a maximum of 3 and you reduce by 2, and you can reduce penetrating damage. I feel like this dial got a lot better when they switched it over.
Oh, especially when they got rid of the Mystics. Every character that has Invincible instantly got better when they nerfed Mystics. So,
yep,
I'll give him that. Calder, who's your pick?
My pick is the AVX number 12 Colossus, the bald Colossus. At least that's what we called him. He's 175 points. He has Armor, Mystical, and X-Men for his keywords. He's got Indomitable, and of course the X-Men team ability. Improved movement. He ignores hindering terrain and ignores blocking terrain and destroys blocking as he moves through it. He's got a special speed power, movement power for his first 3 clicks. I believe in the X-Men. Colossus can use charge and plasticity. If he has 2 action tokens, adjacent friendly characters that can use the X-Men team ability can use that team ability as a free action. And then he has a special defense power that he has on his first, third, and last click. Steel-skinned X-Man. He can use Defend and Impervious. And so he's rocking a 10 movement, 11 attack, super strength, top dial, 18 defense, 4 damage. Only has super strength for 3 clicks, and then he goes to some sidestep and power and stuff. But this was a solid Colossus. I played a lot of AVX, and his speed power, being able to use it, X-Men team abilities, a free action, helped a lot of teams I played against, and I've seen this Colossus used to a great effect. So it's definitely my pick.
I think that when this figure came out, I think it pulled a little bit of its weight. I think it did, like what you just said about how it used its abilities to the effect that you really wanted it to. But with the stats you got at the time when this figure came out, I think it was a lot better.
Yeah, I definitely liked it, and the plasticity helps them. Whenever I played them in AVX, I always used them at the 125 point mark, just because that's how I play. But the plasticity and charge was definitely nice to slow down some hypersonic.
So let me ask this. Let me go back. Jamie, why is the Colossus you chose, why is it like your definitive Colossus?
Well, right now, when you think of Colossus, or at least I think of him, I always think of somebody that's super strong and can take a hit. And we were talking about before the program where like he typically just gets punched in the mouth a bunch and doesn't really do too much. So I think with the Invincible up front on this one, that it's more representative of that. He has a high attack and damage values for him, but I think the Invincible up front really shows that he can take a licking and keep on ticking.
Calder, what made you pick this one? Yours.
This one, because he's more of a team player, Colossus. Because I always feel a Colossus should have defend, and then the little X-Men team abilities of free action is just kind of a little extra for me, anyways.
Okay, fair enough. The Colossus I chose is 001 from the Uncanny X-Men set. Coming in at 50 points with the X-Men team ability. He starts top die with charge, super strength with 10 attack. He has 7 speed. 18 defense with that Invincible, and 3 damage. No ability or no power on his damage power. He does have one trait, no special powers, but the trait says it's a unique modifier. When this character is healed by the X-Men team ability, modify its combat values, except damage by +1 until your next turn. The reason I chose this character is because what Jamie just mentioned a second ago, we were talking about this prior to starting the show tonight, but every comic that I've pretty much ever read with Colossus in it, I think other than his standalone he had back in the 90s, it was like a 4-part issue or something like that, he just always gets his butt handed to him in every single fight. So to me, I can't invest 150 or 175 points in a character that just gets his butt handed to him in the comic all the time. But he does start with that one click of Top Dial Invincible that I think is fantastic. You got a 4-square charge with 10 attack that can swing for 5 for 50 points. He's got some staying around power with 1 click of Invincible, 2 clicks of Invul, and 2 clicks of Toughness. He has 1 click of charge and then 4 clicks of Sidestep. No special combat symbols. What I think I want out of my Colossus, I think this delivers without over costing. So, that's me. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely, if you're putting him out there just to take a hit, you want a lower cost figure. So that's what this guy is. And I think, too, the super strength on those first 3 clicks, where super strength does knockback now. So you're able to, spread out some figures if you're able to hit with a 10.
What's good about that?
What they send.
Because, yeah, he does have knockback with that super strength, but he also has sidestep on those next few clicks, so you knock him away. And even if they do damage him, he can still at least move towards them,
Right.
to get back into the fight after he knocked him away. And that's provided you did choose to actually knock the figure back, because knockback is optional.
Yeah. I do kind of like this one because he can get smoked off really early in the game, and he can still sidestep around and heal other X-Men if he wants to, especially if they also have the all-new, all-different X-Men ability. So that's pretty cool of him, too.
All right, Jamie, what's your actual vote
on? If we're going for comic accurate, I would have to say the 001 Uncanny X-Men one.
Okay. Calder, what about you?
Yeah, now I'm starting to look at them. For the points, you compare them. 001 is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I want to say the one I picked, but I don't know that it's 3 times better.
Yeah, see, when you start looking at it that way, it's maybe not.
So, I think back in the day when the AVX Colossus came out, I think that was a solid figure. My brother used that particular Colossus. If we would be doing casual comparisons back then, I think that would have been the Colossus that I chose. Even though he's bald, but whatever. But when 001 came out, this was right during a time period where my brother's favorite figure or favorite character in all of Marvel Comics was Colossus. But I kept pointing out to him in comics that I'd read. I'd send screenshots of comics that I read. I'd be like, here's another example of Colossus getting his ass handed to him. And then slowly but surely, my brother's like, all right, you win. Colossus isn't my favorite character anymore. Because I swear, he never wins a fight. So I can't invest too many points into him. But I will say this. If you are a huge Colossus fan, I'm not trying to detract anybody from being a Colossus fan. 056 from Deadpool is a good figure. 150 points, you got a beat stick of a character. Especially with that traded super strength. But I'm going to go with 001. Plus, it does have a little bit of that, what Calder mentioned, that the AVX one has, which was some team player aspect with that ability.
Yeah.
The Colossus, the 001, still has the X-Men team ability. So, exactly like Calder said, even if he gets hit off of the Invincible, you can sidestep around and use the X-Men team ability. That's him being the helpful, lovable Pyotr Rasputin that we all know that's his helpful side, but at least he can take a hit up front. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. 001, Uncanny X-Men, Colossus. That is our Colossus. Moving on, we have a Hidden Gems. Hidden Gems is a segment where we just go over a figure that kind of slipped under the radar. When the set that it came out, everybody was already talking about whatever was the best thing in the set. This set, or in this particular instance, we are going to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 movie set. We're going to be talking about Ravager, 007. So what do you get with Ravager? Why is he good? Why did I pick him for the hidden gem of this episode? First of all, he's 20 points. He has the pirate, and Ravager keyword. No special symbols, but he has a trait. And this is why I like this character. The trait says, a pirate's life for me. During force construction, you may pay 20 points for this character. If you do, at the beginning of the game, choose a starting line. During force construction, you may pay 10 points each for up to 4 of this character. If you do, at the beginning of the game, an opponent must choose a distinct starting line for each one. So, I think this is really cool because if you have 4 of these guys, by the way, it has 4 separate starting lines. The first starting line has running shot, energy explosion, 10 attack, 4 range, 1 bolt, with 2 defense. It has support. So you can have an offensive character or you have a supporting character for, let's say you play 4 of them, for 10 points. The second starting line has charge blades with battle fury, 10 attack, for so let's see, 7 speed on that. So a 4 square charge for blades for 10 points. The third starting line has sidestep with 10 attack with poison and what is that? Empower? No, not empower.
Enhancement.
Thank you. The green one, enhancement. So for 10 points, you at least have a guy that can sit back next to the other, your range-based character, increase their damage by 1, and if they do decide to move in, at least you have poison to help out. And then the last starting line has 7 speed with leap climb, 10 attack with a special power that says, when Ravager hits with an attack after actions resolve, give the hit character an action token. He has 10 attack, so it just says if they're hit. It doesn't say that they have to do damage, but if he hits them, they get an action token. He also has Empower with 2 damage. So blank defense on every one of these starting lines. But if you do play him, you're going to play him, all 4 of them, you're going to play him for 40 points. And for all of that for 40 points, with 2 clicks of life apiece, that means your opponent needs to hit 4 separate times, 17 defense on all 4 of them. And it needs to do at least 2 damage to each one of them to kill all of them. So even if you're coming in, your opponent's character does like 4 damage. Well, you took out 1 Ravager, good job. I still have 3 more. So I thought that this was actually a fantastic figure. And I really wish more people would play this just because even if you don't want to spend the 40 points, you just want to spend the 20 points, at least top dial you can start off with either Empower or Enhancement or Support. And I thought that was awesome. What do you guys think?
I mean, if you look at playing them as a unit at 10 points each, I really like them a lot. Like, if you took any one part, like, for, 10 or 20 points, it's not bad. But when you start thinking that you're getting all of that for 40 points, you're getting 8 clicks of life, basically. And 2 of the support powers help out the other 2 figures. So you figure the running shot one is going to get 3 damage if you line up your enhancement figure right. And the one that sidesteps can get something from the Empower if you line that up right for 3 damage. Then you have your blades. So for 40 points, it has good damage output. And I always have to like figures with the pirate keyword. So.
Yeah, not a very often seen keyword.
Yeah.
But, I mean, definitely cool. And also, if you just happen to be one of the very lucky people that pulled the Yondu from the set, the figure that definitely overshadowed everything else in the set to the point where no one was talking about the Ravager,
Mm-hmm.
you can play this on a theme team. They're Ravager's keyword.
Yeah.
So you can boost that Yondu with your Ravagers for funsies.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Calder?
I kind of love figures like this. Like him and Morlock are both really sweet figures. So, and I like the idea of your opponent kind of picking his poison at the beginning of the game whenever he wants to set up the Ravager style, especially if you're playing multiples of these. They're pretty awesome. I don't know how much mileage you're going to get out of his taking prisoners one, since he only has leap climb for that, click, running shot or charge or anything. But it is still really cool with Empower, at least, that he has to help out. So, no, I definitely think he's pretty solid and definitely overshadowed by other stuff in the set.
By the way, it does say choose a distinct starting line for each one. So your opponent, if you do play 4 of them on a team, you will get all 4 of the starting lines.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. The only unfortunate thing about this figure is that, other than, I guess, the keywords could be a little bit more diverse. But other than that, I did check Cool Stuff Inc. They're running at about $4 a pop. So that kind of sucks. Hopefully people out there were lucky enough to, pull them on your own. But I know if I had this character, I'd be playing this character. I just think it's a fun character, and hopefully someone out there can derive some enjoyment out of how ridiculous this will be for like a whopping 40 points. If you put it on the same team as Yondu, you still have on a 300-point team, you still have 160 points to spend, and you already have 5 characters on your team. That's pretty sweet. All right. Let's move on. Last actual segment that we have. I think we need to take a trip, Calder.
Trip down to the corner.
Down to the dusty old corner. Oh, it's
Dusty
not
old
dusty
corner.
anymore. We lubed it up.
We swept it up. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Tell me more.
Yeah, we need to know. Don't leave us in the dark.
All right, so we got a pretty cool figure.
All right.
Really cool. He's got 3 range, like a solid guy is. No special combat symbols. He's got improved movement, ignores characters. Sidestep, top dial. 10 attack with a special power. 17 defense with ESD. And 1 damage throughout. So he's got ESD, sidestep, special attack power, and 1 damage throughout for all his Heroclix. So he's a pretty low point guy. And he's got a trait. The first time during your turn when 1 or more opposing characters are KO'd, after resolutions, choose 1. Modify this character's speed, attack, damage values by +1, or heal this character of 1 damage. So somebody else kills something or picks something off, then this character's rocking an 11 attack, 10 movement, and 2 damage top dial. This is what makes him cool. His special attack power that he's got through all his entire dial is whenever he uses sidestep, after actions resolve, he can use Pulse Wave as a free action. So, for only 45 points, he's only got 3 range, but you can move all the way up 9 squares, and then sidestep 2 squares. You can Pulse Wave the entire team. You only have 3 range. Maybe if they're all clustered together, you can Pulse Wave them all, so that's really cool. Or, with just a little bit of Perplex, and with his trait going off first, you can potentially, rule a 3, get his damage up to a 4 or something, and then maybe get his attack value up to an 11 or a 12. And he can Pulse Wave 1 just character just by moving all the way across, he's moving 11 squares, and then Pulse Waving him as a free action. And he still has ESD on top of that to help him stay a little safe from range.
I think I know who this figure is.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is.
All right.
Who is it?
It is, it's Riptide from the Uncanny X-Men set. I've literally never seen him played before, so that's really cool. But I've played him a few times.
He's legit. He's really,
he's good.
Really good.
So the purpose of this, the value corner, is to see how many real world dollars we would be spending on Riptide. Now I happen to know exactly how much Riptide is because I've looked at this figure multiple times. But
son of a gun.
No, that's fine because this figure should be worth way more than it actually is. It really is a value. So, Jamie, do you have a guess on how much this is?
What is he's like a common or an uncommon?
Yeah.
55 cents.
A little bit lower, but that was a solid guess.
Coming in at Calder?
At 39 cents.
Oh, dude, he dropped in price even since I looked at him. He was 49 cents last time.
Oh, see? So, yeah, he is 39 cents on cool stuff. Just checked.
And yeah. All I'm saying is he has the Marauders keyword. You can put an entire theme team of just Riptide, get your theme prob, and just run them across the map in Pulse Wave every turn.
Since he's not silver ringed or anything, it's pretty great.
You fit, 6 of these on a 300-point team, which I've seen actually done at ROCs before. Or it was close to, it was like 5 or 6 of them on the same team, and they filled out the remaining points with some whatever. But it's super funny. Seriously, an 11 square Pulse Wave? That's good stuff. All right.
Yeah. You can be pretty dumb.
It's good. I wish I had something to say about it. It's just good overall. Like, good luck, hitting a 19 defense at range for a 45-point figure.
Yeah, that's true. That's
very
true.
And like you said, there's like 5 or 6 of them. So.
Which, I mean, more power to you. If you want to run a team with 6 Riptides on it, then do it. You get 5 theme prob because of it? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he only has a 3 square range, so you could theoretically move them up and be within pulse range of hitting someone else, and then be well within range to actually use prob on your own people. So,
right.
That's fantastic. I kind of want to just play Marauders. Have you ever played against keywords that you just really like to play against because they're just so ridiculous?
Marauders is super fun to play. They're so freaking weird.
Marauders is good.
I love it.
And actually Scrambler's stock went up since the rules changed with his Outwit.
What happened to him?
Speaking of Marauders, he can use Outwit, but only to target characters regardless of line of fire. When he does, counter all power showing on that character's dial. So
that's ridiculous.
Maybe it did go up.
I like it.
That still takes it off though.
I like it. Okay, that is Riptide. Riptide's good stuff. Let's pretty much just wind down the episode. We're gonna move on to community, do some house cleaning, and we'll get out of here. I posted a question on Twitter. The question was, which upcoming set are you more excited for? Thor Ragnarok, Star Trek, or TMNT? Legitimately, though, this isn't part of the tweet. I totally forgot that Harley was a thing. So I didn't include it in the tweet, which I could have, but I totally forgot. And what made me remember that was people answering with that answer. So, Calder, what are you most excited for?
I'd say I'm most excited for the Thor Ragnarok movie set.
Have you seen it? They spoiled a couple of things, but they weren't
I saw the Thor and the Hulk dial. The ones that are Gladiator Arena buddies, or whatever they're doing.
They're 75 points and...
Yeah, I'm really digging that Hulk sculpt. Looks really cool.
That Hulk sculpt looks sweet. And
it definitely does.
I even said that was probably, as far as Warbound armor Hulk goes in the history of Heroclix, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Jamie, what about you?
I feel like TMNT. I was getting a little burnout there for a little bit when they...
Hello?
Back into it. Can you hear me?
Oh, it just cut out for a second.
Okay. You guys have been cutting out a little bit too, but it's okay. The TMNT set, just because I was getting a little burnt out with them when they had all 3 sets right in a row. But now that they waited a little bit, I'm pretty excited to get back into playing those.
Yeah, hopefully they bring new sculpts. Because I was sick of the sculpt reuse.
Yeah, I almost wish they'd cut the set size in half and just use the sculpt one time.
My answer to this was one thing, and then they spoiled the Thor set, and then I think I changed my answer. I was not really excited for the 2 figures that they showed, and this is only going to be like a 16 click set or something like that. So that's already 2 pieces I don't want to pull. So I changed my answer to TMNT, and that's with the hope that they did actually change the sculpts. If they didn't change the sculpts, if they're reusing sculpts, then I'll stick with Thor. But until right now, it's tentative. Down the list, we have Married with Clix. Jason says TMNT. Amber says Gotham Girls. Chris Kurtz says Harley and the Girls. Nick Accord says Harley Quinn. God, why do you guys like Harley Quinn so much? That King Shark looks awesome. That's legit, though. Have you guys seen that King Shark figure?
Yeah. No, I didn't see a King Shark figure.
It looks ballin'. They did whoever designed that, bravo. That is a really cool looking piece. That's, in my opinion, that's almost as cool as Man Bat's figure, the recent Man Bat from Joker's Wild. Nick Pitt, my bad. Ragnarok, because it's only one of the 3 I sort of care about. Way too many sets in 2017. I'm tapped out. Yeah, probably. Alan Wilkinson, Thor, but we'll maybe get a TMNT or 2 if there's anything good in there. Trek-wise, I'll wait for the next generation. Also, more Yu-Gi-Oh! Clicks, please. You guys ever think we'll get more Yu-Gi-Oh! Clicks?
I skipped both waves in there. As soon as they said not modern age, I was like, I checked out. I was like, I'm not buying this now.
I love them, so I have a hope that we're gonna get like the normal Duelers starter pack, like maybe just like Joey and Yugi and Kaiba and stuff. That'd be really cool, and they can like work off the table and help the monsters. That's the only thing I would want more from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you guys feel like they realized that by not making them modern, they kind of shot themselves in the foot?
Yep.
I would think so, because
especially
my shop and a few places that I go like still has Yu-Gi-Oh! Both waves on the shelf that nobody buys.
Gotcha. When they announced for the first time that TMNT was in fact going to be modern, look how well that sold.
Mm-hmm.
You do the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it will sell. There are a lot of people in this game that they've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! They never watched the anime, but if you make it modern, they'll buy the clicks if they're good enough and competitive enough. So there you go. Matthew Ryan said Star Trek. I hope this brings in new players. I hope for you the same as well. I don't know a lot of people who are Trekkies and then would see Heroclix and go, man, I want to play whatever game that is. But I sincerely wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, I feel like those people are gonna more go for if they play anything, the attack wing one.
Yeah. David Thon, Scotty, beam my team back to the starting zone, and Bones heal the crew. Also, Khan. You put that at like many A's and an exclamation point. So, Jonathan Davis, Thor. I'm over the TMNT sets because all they do is just pump out figures we already have. Don't like Star Trek at all either. Sonny Birdwell said Star Trek and hardly. And then Greg Miller. Greg Miller tweets in a lot. I appreciate you, Greg Miller. Ragnarok. He's not the only one that tweets in a lot, but man, I see him all over the place. I think it's his little picture on Twitter is a picture of Thanos, which is sitting down, and I love it because I love Thanos. Did you post that to Twitter, Calder?
On Facebook? No, I didn't have the time to because I was
that's right.
trying to stay alive.
Eating muskrats and snakes and stuff.
Yep, exactly that.
We'll let this one slide.
I'll be on top of it next week, though.
Go ahead.
Never mind. I was going to say, is Calder training to be on a loan?
That would be so great.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so we did get some mail, though, or was it a comment?
Some mail.
Facebook?
Facebook message, right in our DMs there, our PMs, or however you want to say it on Facebook. Malcolm Rush, we had a question. So with the new Thor set coming out, Heroclix has had a major change between not only the rules and all the new objects. His question is, which sets in Heroclix history had the most influence in the game when they came out? And out of those sets, which one is the most influenced over the years?
Influenced or influencing?
Influenced. He said influenced over the years. Or influencing could also work. I think it's the same thing.
I already know the answer. My answer, at least my opinion. I'm going to go with the Infinity Gauntlet set, and that was because it was the introduction of the idea of resources. If you look at how influencing the idea of the creation of resources were for such a long period of the game, like, God, when was the last resource made?
The last one, that'd be
Justice
League
League.
Teleporter?
Justice League Teleporter? Man, you're talking about a set, Infinity Gauntlet, that came out in 2012, and the Justice League Teleporter came out in which set?
World's Finest.
World's Finest, 2016. So you're talking about like a 4-year spread of the creation of a mechanic where it pretty much ruled the meta. So that's my answer.
It's a good answer.
All right. Yeah. No. Definitely. And so what I would choose is maybe more or less in the same vein of yours, but War of Light. War of Light definitely had a huge impact on the game, not only with the amazing figures that were in it, like Weapon Earth Cord and everybody else that helped, but definitely the entities, because that was so new and shocking, just freaking everybody out. They were on every single meta team, every single whatever for like the longest time, and then slowly dribbling off to like Jocasta and then the two entities in Wonder Woman and stuff like that. So I definitely think, especially there for a while, the game, when it had entities, it was like at its most complicated with entities and resources and everything. So I thought that definitely had a huge impact on the game.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
When you have every team at a tournament have at least one of those on it, you know it's something that's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Jamie, what'd you pick?
Well, can I change my answer from earlier? The more I'm thinking about it, the more I want to change it.
Yeah.
The
listener doesn't know what you chose earlier.
It was Supernova because that was the first set that had chases. But the more that I'm listening to you guys talk and thinking about it, I'm going to change my answer to the first Avengers set because that's the first set we had special powers and cards in 2005.
Yeah. Wow, God. That seems so long ago that like you forget about it because think about how many people have come into this game never knowing that there were once upon a time characters that didn't have special powers, that didn't have traits.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I was like, well, once I thought about where the special powers came from, I was like, I got to pick that one.
That was a solid idea. That was a solid idea to introduce the idea of multiple powers on the same click and how powers can interact differently based off of the character that they're on. That just opened up the floodgate of what they could do with the game of Heroclix.
Yeah, it made it more flavorful because there was a lot of figures where you run into a problem where like, you know, one power in a particular slot doesn't necessarily suit them, but if you give them two powers in that slot, then it really starts to have the flavor of that figure, like a Hulk with just super strength or just Quake doesn't quite feel like Hulk, but if you give a Hulk super strength and Quake, then all of a sudden, you know, you're like, oh, this is definitely the Hulk.
Agreed, 100%. And for those of you like myself that have been playing since way back in the day, the first Wolverine, what does Wolverine do? He runs straight headfirst into battle and he slashes his claws. The first Wolverine did not have charge. He had like stealth or something, and I was like, why? But if you would have given him like stealth and charge at the same time, let me make sure that that's right. Yeah. Yep. 75-point Wolverine made no sense. He had stealth, and you couldn't charge in. Missed an opportunity, but I'm glad they made special powers.
Yep.
Okay, Hope that answers your question, Malcolm. We are going to Mr. Clix Flix. You want to plug everything that you got, and then we're going to see if we can get out of here.
Okay. I've been having a real busy week on social media trying to get things up and running. I have my YouTube channel is Mr. Clix Flix. I have a Facebook group now where you just go into Facebook and look up the group Mr. Clix Flix, and it has the same banner from my YouTube page, so it should be easy to find. And I also launched a Patreon page to try to get some more content out there and fund my channel. And actually, I've been uploading this week. T-shirts are one of the reward levels, and so I put out some of the first 4 designs for that on my Twitter, which is also at Mr. Clix Flix.
All right. Seriously though, listener, please go watch his videos. It's good stuff. I enjoy that. I appreciate you putting out the content that you're putting out. And I noticed that you're starting to put out content at a faster rate than what you used to. So
yeah, I'm trying to go for 2 days a week, and sometimes I'm able to throw a third one in there. So
okay. Well, we also have a Twitter at DialH4, the number 4, Twitter. So make sure you're following us on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter account, that is where I do most of my tweeting and polls and linking to things. So make sure you get a Twitter at least just to follow us. That would be great. We're on Facebook, DialH for Heroclix. We also have a YouTube channel, DialH for Heroclix. We recently monetized that channel, so if you guys just go and watch the videos or at least click them and let them play in the background, you help out the channel. We appreciate that. We have a Gmail account, which is dialhforheroclix@gmail.com. You can send us in questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Constructive criticism is always welcome, guys. We really appreciate that. And then we are bringing back the superfan status. So make sure you're tweeting into us and talking to us and stuff like that. We will definitely be hooking whoever we end up naming the superfan up with some kind of prize. Speaking of prize, one last thing that DialH is doing is we are now an Amazon affiliate. Whoever it was, because I don't know who you are, that purchased something using one of our links, we actually made some commission off you. So I'll tell you right now, thank you. And we are not going to forget about you. Make sure you let us know who you were, because I'm going to hook you up with something. But in order to keep that going, keep the hype up, we are giving away a digital copy of the Doctor Strange movie. So the next person that goes on to Amazon through one of our links and purchases something, just let us know what it was when you purchased it. So the first person that does that, I'll send you a code for a digital copy of Doctor Strange. Closing thoughts. Do you guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Nope, I don't have anything. This was fun.
Yeah, it's always great when you come on. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Calder?
I just want to say that in the brick of Thor I got Kamala Khan as my Colossal. I couldn't be angrier, so curse you, Kamala Khan!
It's one of the ones I wanted. If you could have gotten any Colossal out of your booster, what would you have wanted?
Mangog or Carnage, and if not them, Groot.
All right, make sure you send Calder a Mangog or a Carnage. He'd really appreciate that. He'll probably move you out into South Dakota and teach you how to live off the land as a thanks.
I will actually, yes.
All right. Seriously, guys, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Go check out Mr. Clix, and we will definitely see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.